Hello, THL, and welcome back to another episode of Hearthcenter. It is THL's 19th season that we are in right now, and I'm excited to be bringing you all of the action from the week that was. Sorry that we missed you last week with some last-minute changes, but we're back in force. We're still just going to do that 1 week that just happened the previous week. It's lost to history forever. But let's
Yeah,
start off with our introductions like we always do. First, to my bottom left, we have Op Extraordinaire filling in for Desharmo. It is Dr. Fish. How you doing tonight, Fish?
I'm doing well, man. I'm happy to be able to step in for Desharmo and try to fill in the shoes that he puts out every week.
Absolutely. Happy to have you here and really appreciate you stepping up to run op for us tonight. Next, we have the man with the best GIF in THL. Not really. Can I still call you the newest doctor? We haven't had any new doctors yet,
Well,
right?
not that I've
Uh,
heard of.
yeah, you're still the newest doctor then. Dr. Lotus Knight. How you doing tonight, Lotus?
I'm doing great. I'm exhausted. I'm very confused about the mercenaries thing. I didn't understand the thing, but honestly, I'm here to have fun.
Absolutely. Well, I'm right there with you. I don't know what's going on with mercenaries. The only thing that seems clear is you can pay for this, and that doesn't seem to be a great way to sell your product. But who am I to tell marketing how they're going to do things? Let's just wait and see. It could be cool. It could be fun.
Hmm.
Last up, and certainly not least, to my bottom right, we have our Battlegrounds expert helping us out for tonight, the lovely and talented Steffi. How are you doing tonight, Steffi?
I'm hyped to be here tonight. Thank you so much for inviting me. How are you doing
Doing
from
great.
Mexico?
Eh,
I almost
You
Oh,
I
almost,
said
yeah.
I said I
Oh,
wouldn't,
so
so
close. You can call me
ah,
Brushy Mexico.
Brushy
It's okay.
Mexico.
Um, well, I'm very happy to have you here, especially with us kind of stumbling through Battlegrounds last time we were on. Steffi can kind of help fill in our lack of Battlegrounds knowledge. But without further ado, let's dive into our players of the week. As we always do on the show. So we've got 4 series that we're covering. Of course, Wild has sort of branched off and they have all of their own show now to do, which kicked off to a great start. And we're no longer going to be covering Wild, at least for the foreseeable future. So for our 4 series that we're covering, Hero, Legacy, Battlegrounds, and Pro, let's talk about players of the week. Lotus, start us off if you would. Who got player of the week in Hero this last week?
In Hero, the winner of Player of the Week in Hero was Thalfix. Getting off to a 3-0 start is no easy feat, especially in a series like Hero, but Thalfix has made it look easy with as 1-2-3. With a 3-0 sweep this week, Thalfix denied key points, ensuring VOSC came out with the victory in a very close matchup. We'll have to see if they can continue the great gameplay. Congratulations, Thalfix.
Nice. Yeah, always impressive to get that 3-0 sweep for sure. Steffi, any comments on vote of some confidence in that name? That was a team I was on recently. I remember when we adopted the name, but did they have your blessing being a member of
always.
vote of no confidence in the past?
That's all I need to hear. I'm biased.
Nice.
They're the best.
Yeah,
Solid.
Sage
Solid.
Sage and the team came with a great name.
Awesome. All right, next up we have Legacy. So, Dr. Fish, talk to me about our player of the week for Legacy this last week.
Okay, well, I have some very personal experience with our player of the week. It is Risen of Chaos Theory. So Risen came in pretty huge this week for his team. He took a reverse sweep over yours truly. I just needed a win with Hunter, and Hunter could not get through, unfortunately, for me. So he put his team a point away from taking the week over Amber Flight Gaming. So congrats to Risen on breaking his 0-2 streak and getting a win for his team.
Yeah, oh, Rexar, sometimes he just
Yeah.
doesn't get there.
Sometimes you
But
draw your one drops on 6 and 7, and you're like, why am I playing right now?
Yep. But well played by Risen.
Yeah, well played.
Definitely well-earned victory there. Next up, we have our Player of the Week for Pro. And I'm saving Battlegrounds for Steffi to talk to me about BGs. So, Lotus, back to you, buddy. Can you tell me who was the Player of the Week for Pro this last week?
Sure. For Pro Series, we have Money Pockets. After receiving several nominations 2 weeks ago for coming in clutch for a Sushi Rats victory, Money Pockets has come up with a sweep in a Sushi Rats victory against Hype Horizon last week as well. 2 incredible weeks for Money Pockets and Sushi Rats, already off to an incredible 2-0 start. This team is off to a hot start, and Money Pockets is already looking like the player to watch this season.
Yeah, absolutely. Really impressive victory. Anytime you can punch the win over a team like Hype Horizon 2 and Sushi Rats, a team to look out for. Money Pockets off to a very hot start and going to be an exciting season to keep an eye on.
Yeah,
Uh,
and if I don't know if there's fantasy league or fantasy system, whatever you call it, for pro, but if there's the fantasy thing for pro, Money Pockets looks like money in your pocket.
oh, I know
Oh,
you're just dying to
oh, that was a good
say that
one.
one.
I had
Classic
to go for
Lotus.
that.
That's a good
Uh-huh.
one.
Uh-huh. All right. And then last up for our final series to cover for last week for Player of the Week, Steffi, talk to me about who took it down in Battlegrounds.
So for Battlegrounds, we're going to be talking about my boy Sazuru. The man was unconscious playing on Sunday night, coming in first place twice for his team Risky Refresh. I don't know if you know that's the name, Ron, but it's Risky Refresh. Wonderful
Thank you.
fast start in round one got him pouncing on the competition and end up battling his teammate in an almost epic golden boat battle, with Herpsy defeating him for the top spot. Suzuru got the top spot. Second
Mhm.
round proved to be not as easy, but building a strong comp, he came out on top, scoring 20 points for his team. Super strong play by Suzuru. Congrats. And that was from Saku.
Nice. Yeah, that is really impressive. Taking down a double first place. I mean, you
Yeah.
literally can't be better than
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Got to be proud of your teammate there. That's awesome.
He's the best in the world. Well, we all are, but yes.
Mhm.
Nice. A multi-way tie for best in the world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Good. And yes, it is an excellent BG team name. Well pointed
Mhm.
out, Linthesis. Um,
Yeah,
I and that's got my vote for best BG's team name of the season so far.
right?
We will. I don't know if there was an official one, but that's at least got my support here.
It's up there. It's like top three.
Solid.
Mhm.
As we move on now, we've got some actual series action to recap for you. So, congrats once again to all the players of the week. And let's dive into our recaps now. We're going to start off like we usually do with Hero. So, let's switch on over, get the graphic up on the screen, and let's see who our top two are for Hero in this week. And what do you know? It's Dad Legend and Bullner Jams 03. Uh, what a name.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Thanks, Donde. Way
Great
to go,
name.
buddy.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't
just
they?
a casual
Yeah.
what 18-year-old reference,
Yeah.
17-year-old reference, something
But
like that.
but it's still incredible. Yeah.
But here we are, our top teams: Dad Legend, Bolner Jams, at Diamond, and Vote of Some Confidence in a tie with F2L Black
Yeah.
would be,
The
our typical, top playoff teams
Mhm.
if playoffs started today, which they absolutely do not. We
Yeah.
got a long season yet to play.
Technically, Mass would have been ahead of us, and we would have been tied with Bands, but F2L got 4
True,
points
actually.
on
Yeah.
a win this week already against Bands.
It's hard to get those screenshots in before the
It really
other
is.
matches start getting played. So
Yeah.
technically, yeah, we've got a Vote of Some Confidence is holding the fourth on their own and not in a tie with F2L Black. They've just kind of
Yes.
carried over their win already for this week.
Mhm.
Nice. And we're going to start with our first recap. So that is Bolner Jams 03 versus anyone playing Maestra. and this was a big win, 18-8. Lotus Knight, take me through this match.
Sure. We have Boner Jam 03 versus anyone playing Maestra. Now, Boner Jams, which is Quaz's team, did really well against anyone playing Maestra. Quaz won against Nomad Farmer, carrying the team with a 3-2 win. Wayfair won for anyone playing Maestra, but it was not enough because worse Brushy Tuna and worse Coles swept Venus Simoni and Tammy's, and Big Ted won 3-2 against KSW.
Nice. I think I might need to clip this entire thing that you just did here and show it to my team, because you calling it Quaz's team is something he probably won't let the rest of us forget for the whole
And
season.
and also Donde, not only has he swept this week, he's swept every week of Hero. He is 9-0 in his matches.
Oh,
Yeah,
Donde
I
is
don't know
playing.
what's
I,
going
I'm
on.
I'm
He's,
I'm
he's
s-
playing out of his mind right
I'm
now.
sorry to have to inflate his ego, but man, he is killing it right now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Big props to Donde. Yeah, big week
Mhm.
for my team here,
For sure.
despite being worse Brushy Tuna and Coles on this team. We're off to a solid start, and I got a
Yeah.
lot of faith in Ted, Anfal, and Quaz to start picking up some more wins. So if me and Donde can maintain that kind of pace, which is hard to do, we
Mhm.
are very good contenders. With that, let's move on to our next match recap for Hero. And we are going to be talking about next. It is at Diamond versus Bands. Make 'em dance. Dr. Fish, talk to me about this one here. This was really, really close. Kind of the flip side of the 18-8. We've got a
Yeah.
13-12 where it was just a nail biter.
Sure, yeah. No, this came down to the absolute wire. We had Lotus Knight and base, and that was a sweep for Lotus Knight. Don't usually see base get swept, so really good job by you, Lotus Knight. Nails taking a 3-1 over, always just in time. Astral Frog taking a 3-2 over Mick. In Seth, Seth taking a 3-1 over Diamond, and Ruski taking the 3-1 in the 5 seed. So this, it came down to the 1 point, and just the 3 wins in the middle got it done.
Yeah, just back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't really undersell, though. Lotus Knight, you picked up that 3-0 over pro teammate Based Inc. In a very crucial match. I mean, if you had even dropped a single game, you're so much further out of contention. Even though Bands did get the win, like that was a huge performance that almost got there for at Diamond. Any thoughts on the matchup?
It was a really crazy match. Should I say that? I can say Aggro Druid performed so well. I was kind of shocked how well it performed this series, because it's not a deck I play a lot, or most people play a lot, but kind of showed that it's not as bad as it seems.
Hey, sometimes you bring a slightly, less common deck and it just really pays off, and looks like it did there. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. I've been on the receiving end of one or two Lotus Knight spicy brings before, like like double sticky finger in a bomb warrior. Yeah, and it actually paid off massively. Yeah, that was fun. I remember that.
That was a really weird idea that I had. It paid off, but it was a really weird idea.
it it was frustrating how well it paid off. But we don't have to dwell on that. That's in the past. I'm not salty. I'm never salty. Let's move on to uh, and we have, I believe, one more match to cover for Hero. We're still on
Indeed.
3, right?
Yeah.
So let's move on to our final match of the Hero series to review. And this is Snakes on a Campaign versus Mast. So, all right, Steffi, here we go. I'm throwing you in the fire here.
All right, I'm ready.
13-14, another really close one. What happened here?
You know what? It looks like a lot has happened here.
I
everyone
mainly
at
just wanted
home.
to give you the chance to bash on Mako. Go nuts.
You know what? I actually, when I originally saw this name, I was like reading all the players, and I was like, Mako, I love him. And then I looked at his score, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, Mako? But Saku's out here holding the fort. So like my other boy's doing very well. I
Solid,
mean,
solid.
this is also really close, and I, I just, it's like I'm looking at like the bands and the brain and all this stuff, and just like kudos to both teams. When I think about when I would play in Hero, when you would get to this like nail biting like 1 to 2 point difference, it feels good because that means both teams really performed. So it's hard to be like one versus the other. One just got a few more points, got a little bit luckier, or mulliganed better, or whatever it might be. But
Fair
yeah, good job to
enough.
both teams except
I
for
like
Mako.
that you pointed out the bands as well. That's a whole lot of shaman and warlock.
Mhm.
Only
Mhm.
one a non-shaman or warlock actually got banned, and go figure, it was Mako's mage on the way to a sweep. So maybe his opponent knew something the rest of us didn't. But otherwise, shaman and warlock. Surely there's no problem with those classes, right? It's not like they just came out with the double warlock nerf just now.
No, not at all. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Ooh, nice swift ban, Fish. I
Oh, I
Oh
wanted to
assume that
click
was you who
that.
did that.
no, Saku's
I
also
wanted to
Oh,
click it.
nice. Hey, way to go,
Saku's
Saku.
chilling. Yeah. Oh,
Saku to go.
I'm sitting here like adjusting things, and Mako's
I,
out
I
here.
was gonna ban
And
the bot real quick, and then
oh.
I saw it like immediately insta banned. I'm like, whew, sniped.
No, I'm like you're getting ready for the next series, and yeah.
But yeah, just another really close
Mhm.
matchup. As we're looking at kind of playoff implications, as we always do, to just over analyze and jump in as early as possible and overreact to things. I think it's just really cool to see that there's a lot of parity once again between most of the teams that are playing here. Mast is what, barely out of the top four, which would be
Mhm.
where you'd start off playoff wise, if playoffs of course theoretically started today, which they don't. And
Uh,
Snakes on a Campaign was 1 point away from beating that team, and they're currently 2 spots away from the bottom. So,
yeah.
uh, you know, I love to overreact, but it's
Mhm.
really cool just to see that um,
Mhm.
these teams are all really in the mix. A lot of teams getting solid points no matter what. Every single team is currently above double digit points per week, which you really need to see happen. If you're below double digits as an average, your
Ooh,
season's probably already over. So
yeah,
at least nobody's kicked out just yet, and that's cool.
for sure.
I
Yet.
will note it's nice to see Mass coming back, though. They had a rough start, but this is the team that was champions last year, even if they're missing three of their players. So I'm happy to see Mako's team starting to get back on track.
Yeah, they're like a zombified version of the champs from last season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think very strong players in all of the spots still.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
should be in strong contention. As we move on, our next series that we're going to cover is Battlegrounds. Any last words on Hero before we jump into BGs? I'm gonna take that as a no.
No.
All right. So
Good
Battlegrounds
job,
it
team.
is. Yeah, I love the complete and utter silence. I mean, I did ask you for final words, so in fairness, you had none. You remained silent. Touche. So let's talk about Battlegrounds. So Steffi, talk to me about where we're at right now. We've
Oh,
got Crafty
goodness.
Monkeys and Risky Refresh up at the very top in the standings. Gotta feel good.
It feels pretty good, not gonna lie. This season has been wild already. We just wrapped up week 3, and I feel like it's just been super chaotic. Um, Crafty Monkeys has been they have been overperforming. It's wild when all 4 players on that team are picking up slack. Hold on, I want to get the names of each player up because honestly, they deserve that
It's
recognition. Um, because it's gross. It's gross. You don't want to have to play them, and it's very upsetting when you see they are in their lobby. Cue my emotions this week, but
Yeah, cue my
you
emotions
can
this week.
right? Cue all of the above.
And last
You
week.
have and yeah, no, I think I dodged them last week, so I got a little lucky.
Yeah.
But you have Canoe with 49.5 points, Damon with 49, Turtle with 40, Nice Jewish Owl with 39.5. All four players are technically like top 8 player points if you really wanted to be like nitty gritty looking at all that detail. It's bonkers. They are literally just it's so impressive. I have nothing but respect for all four of those players. Um, and then I got to my team's horn a little bit. We got Risky Refresh coming in hot and spicy with second place with 140.3 points. However, do notice that gap again. Crafty Young Monkeys are nutter
Yeah,
butters.
that's a crazy gap right there.
It's super big. Um, Suzuru really holding it down this week because I definitely underperformed compared to my previous weeks. But yeah, Suzuru, Riots, Terpsy, all bringing in some extra points and still managed to stay in second place, which is such a great feeling. But followed by Daryl and Flurgle's OnlyFans. Okay. With 131.5 points. So a slight gap, but really minuscule when you're looking at the battlegrounds point. How we add in total all the points. It's really not that far behind. And then Donned eighth, not in eighth.
No.
Spoiler and shocker for everyone at home. With 115.5 points, closely followed by a few other teams below. So like, we have the first, Crafty on Monkeys sitting really pretty. Risky Refresh and Daryl Flurgle OnlyFans creeping their way up. But then the rest of the teams are so close, it's hard to get a read.
Mhm.
And we're going into week 4 and we only have 7 weeks. So this is going to be cutthroat and that's what we're here for.
Yeah, I think
It's been
one of the most
great.
surprising things too is the fact that Concede Your Match is the team that's been almost, I think, the runner-up or, right at
Yep.
the
Yeah,
very top
top
2
every
three.
seasons.
season
Top
is
3,
2
currently
yeah.
dead
seasons. Yep.
last.
Yes. So unfortunately, from my experience from the casting and playing, there have been some no-shows, which is unfortunate. It's never a good feeling when, some teammates just aren't able to make it for whatever reason. Lol Ninko, it's the correct pronunciation,
Nice.
does have
Ninko.
37 points. So like he's performing very well
Yes.
in the grand scheme of things. It's just unfortunate with some of the other players fall a little behind for whatever reason it
Yeah.
might be, but it's still for
There's
fun. That's the
there's
great
a
thing.
little bit of time still to make it up.
Hmm.
But we're rapidly approaching that crunch time point of the season.
And especially now with this the meta change, it's a complete 180.
Oh
Everybody's
yeah.
feeling it out. So it's just I mean, yes, this is the picture that was painted by week 3. Who knows what's like who's going to get a chance to play? Who's going to be practicing?
Big
Who's going to be
makeup
picking up
coming.
on this meta? So,
Mhm.
Maybe bad news for Crafty Monkeys, maybe like
hopefully,
an opening for everyone else
great news
because
for us. No, I'm just
you
kidding.
were well, you were talking about how crazy of a point gap there is between them and the next place team. I also
Mhm.
looked at the uh, points totals for all of the players in BG
Mhm.
series, and there are only 2 players in all of Battlegrounds that have more points than Crafty Monkey's worst performing player,
Mhm.
and that is just completely nuts.
It's
Nice Jewish
crazy.
Owl is sitting there at 39.5. The only people who have as much or more are Sazuru and yourself, Steffi, at 39.5.
What can I say? But I mean, yeah, you make a very valid point. Like, I'm not kidding when I say all of those players are heavy hitters, and that's petrifying. There's no slack to be held up by any of the players. They literally are just like, you know what, I'm gonna be really good. And then they're really good.
Yeah. And as mentioned, of course, in our player of the week, Sazuru got that double first
Mhm.
in the B split.
Woohoo!
Lolenko with a really strong performance in that A
Yeah.
split. And
Mhm.
yeah, we're just kind of seeing top performers continually doing what they do.
Mhm.
Yes, definitely. But yeah, we'll see what happens. This is the week to really watch because it's gonna be so new and refreshing. I'm interested to see how people take it. All the players, I mean. So should be a good time.
Absolutely. Uh, if I'm not mistaken, we had another lobby, right?
Yeah, I'll put it up now.
I have not followed BGs as much as I had in previous seasons. I mean, they killed Murlocs completely. They killed my Toxfin. I got a I got a grudge with Battlegrounds right now.
That's
I don't know
understandable.
how to play it.
Bob is sassy and disrespectful.
Wait, no, these are the wrong splits.
No, this is no. Are you sure? I know Yui
Yeah.
did really well last.
No, these are the wrong splits. Why?
That's okay. I can pull it up.
I
Really
got
quickly.
it. I have the picture here. Yeah, I got it.
Awesome.
This
oh,
is
yeah,
the splits for the week, yeah.
Perfect.
All right, and then Steffi, if you want to take us through Green Lobby as well.
So, oh look, all the people we were talking about that are doing really well.
Surprise, surprise.
Canoe 2-1, Turtle 1-3. We go down to the split. Nice Jewish Owl 2-1, Damon 1-4. When all of your players are tough, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna focus on other teams. I'm just like, I can't. But look at Yashter. 3-2, 38.5. That's also nothing to blink an eye about.
Yeah.
Like,
My
very
boy, my
good.
boy killing it out here.
And then Fire Emblem. I remember Fire Emblem being
Fire
a force
Emblems
to
is
reckon with
good.
last season.
Yeah.
Still showing up and showing out. I mean,
Rough week.
granted, we do see a 7 and 8 this week, but still being able to carry 31.5
Mhm.
points. That's just a reflection of the previous 2 weeks, which still speaks volumes in my opinion.
Yes.
So I mean, also interesting with the first lobby, how you see all these like ties.
Oh.
Everybody just dies at the same time.
Yeah.
That's a
Kind
lot of
feels
ties
bad.
right there, yeah.
But
A lot of death at
Mhm.
once. But yeah, like a green lobby, this was the heavy hitting lobby this past week again with some of these top teams.
Mhm.
with
Oop.
Oh my gosh, why am I blinking?
There we go.
Everything I know
The teams
has
are now
gone
up
out
there.
the window. Yeah, with Crafty Young Monkeys being in there. And I mean, I don't know. I'm excited to see. Again, we take this information, but I feel like it's also completely out the window with everything that has changed.
Yeah,
So it's
giant
like
meta
It really
shakeup
is,
don't
yeah.
do
it
that to you.
seriously is. It's
Yeah.
like you're lucky right now if you're top 3 that you were able to accumulate points while it was quote unquote easier. But now here's the true test. Like who's able to adapt to a new meta and quickly, because
All right,
Friday and
so
Sunday is right here.
real quick, like prediction, Steffi,
Hmm.
archetype that is going to benefit the most from the shakeup.
Archetype that's going to benefit the most. I'm going to say because they got rid of Toxfin, so anything that is able to go big, I think is going to do well. Demons, 100%.
Yeah.
The dragon, I know we were talking before how there's that bug with the razor gore.
With Razor Gore. Yeah, I've
That's
heard of
Nutty
that.
Butters.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And yeah, so demons and dragons right off the top of my head, I can see doing really well. Cold
Nice.
Wars and elementals didn't get a lot of huge support, but again, I think the absence of being able to quickly transition to like having a few poisons on your board is going to do really well, particularly for the archetypes that try to go big. So, but also, I mean, mechs could do well. I just think it still kind of seems like it could be balanced, but demons and dragons are what's initially popping out to me.
Nice.
We'll see.
Demon's back, Pog.
All right, and any final words on Battleground series before we cut over to our quick commercial break? For instance, Dr. Fish, any comments on just barely missing the Ricky Bobby, the 8-1?
Oh, I know. I missed the Ricky
You almost
Bobby.
pulled it off, man.
I missed the Ricky Bobby to Owl, man. Why you gotta stop me from that? No, it
Mean
was
Jewish Owl.
Mean Jewish Owl. Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. The second that comp that I had, I wouldn't have expected it to get second place, but overall, I think the season's kind of got this weird like couple of tiers, and then you just down the way, especially with less teams, it's maybe going to be a bit easier to see who kind of see who's coming in towards playoffs, like a lot sooner than usual.
Yeah, I think we can probably say Crafty Monkeys are going to make it. But,
sure.
And
Probably.
Risky Refresh probably. Daryl and Flirtle probably. The rest of the teams,
yeah,
it's going to be a logjam.
Yeah, it's going to be Dome Daith with other teams like fighting it out for the spots.
Nice.
Don't worry, Brushy's team's not getting top 4.
No,
Make it your
they
mission
just
to crowd him out.
have they just have Brushy 2 to play, and insane 10K
Love it.
plus battlegrounds player.
All right, so we're going to dive into a quick commercial break for you before we mix it up with our remaining 2 series to cover with Legacy and Pro. So, as always, if you could please, those of you out there watching, consider, supporting us a little bit with whatever you can offer. I've got a little pitch, and I'm just going to rapid fire right through it like I usually do. So here we go. Hey there, Twitch viewers. If you subscribe to Team Heart Legends yet, know that make today the day to be a legend yourself and subscribe to our channel. This subscription enables the THL team to help cover the various operating our website, as well as improve the quality of our streams and content to our viewers. If you have Amazon Prime or Twitch Prime, you can actually subscribe to the channel for free. Subscribers go to THL Emoticon, as well as the lovely THL chat badge. So hit that heart button, keep the notifications on, and make sure you catch our team broadcasting live. We appreciate each and every one of you. Special note to our viewers, check out THL's other social media points of interest, our website, teamheartlegends.com. Follow us on Twitter at THL_HS. Join us on Discord at Team Heart Legends. Check out the THL PAL podcast for power rankings for all series wherever you find your podcasts. The true Heart Legends himself, Saku, continues to post all of our videos on our YouTube channel. Just search for Team Heart Legends to catch everything previously recorded. You're, of course, watching us on our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Team Heart Legends, or possibly on our YouTube channel in the future. And for all you THL fanatics out there, there are THL shows every single day of the week, except when Mako doesn't feel like it. You can't go wrong tuning in at any time for some amazing Hearthstone-related content. Now back to the good part.
All right.
And that good part would be Legacy. Let's
Yes.
dive into some Legacy.
Yeah.
Legacy Gold.
Thanks, Lotus.
Yeah.
The excitement.
I can feel your excitement. All right,
Yes.
Lotus, you know what? Talk to me about Legacy Gold. What's going on in Legacy Gold
Let's
right
go.
now?
Legacy Gold is hyped. Golden Whiffs, the team that's come back from, I don't even know from where, is now on top. And it's standing at first place with Defias Brotherhood and Agent PWE Elemental and the Live Showers in third. This is just really close for those 3 teams. And then you kind of have the rest of gold, but this is looking strong. Both Defias and the Agent PWE team, I'm just going to call them Agent PWE team.
Yeah.
They're both doing really well.
Hey, and thank you so much to Jespine coming in with the gifted sub to Geranium Battle. That's awesome. We appreciate the support.
This is just looking like a Legacy this season is having a lot of strong teams. And it's interesting to see how some of the series are already having a few teams just detach themselves from the rest. And we see this in gold, we see this in other points as well.
Yeah, there are a lot of contenders still in gold right now, but definitely a pretty clear pecking order between like the teams at the very top and the teams at the very bottom. Once again, as always, as long as their logo shows up, I got to give a shout out. Top tier logo for the Golden Wisps. I love that they made it a legendary as well. Just chef's kiss.
Yes.
Perfect. And Defias, of course, coming right back. They had a really strong season last season, fell just barely short in the playoffs, and proving that it was no fluke, and they're contenders once again. So
yeah,
let's talk about the match here. The first highlighted match we have is aforementioned Golden Wisps taking a 16-12 victory over Seek Guidance. Dr. Fish, take me through this matchup.
All right, so we have Golden Wisp versus Seek Guidance. Always Lethal taking a 3-2 win over Magnificent. Mick taking a 3-2 win over Y the Hunter. Stev taking his first loss this season to the OP Skittles, sitting in the 3 seed. And then we have MPV sweeping Snake Fods. That looks like
looks like a DQ win.
It does look like a DQ win, unfortunately. And Jolt C taking a 3-2 over Roadrunner. Yeah.
So, sometimes it happens where the match gets the outcome is swung by a no-show in this case. And I don't know what happened
No.
with Snake Fod's usually a player that plays pretty regularly most of their matches.
Yeah.
Maybe something came up at the last minute and they couldn't find a replacement. But just underscores the importance. If you can, please make sure you show up to play your matches or find a sub for you.
Yeah.
Golden Wisps are the beneficiary in this case, but still a hard fought, very close series regardless.
Yes.
And I think, what's also interesting about this one for Seek Guidance, 12 points there, and I don't see them in the graphic on the screen. Did they get cut off?
Hmm?
Or am I just totally
Probably
missing that?
because if you look, it says 1, 2. Oh wait, no,
They
let me
are
see
not
the
in
win.
the. No, they're not in the.
Oh, is one of the cross conf? Oh yeah, that always trips me
Yeah, yeah.
up.
Seek Guidance is in a different conference.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was a
Yeah.
full cross conference week.
That's
I
right.
think for the most
It
part
was
it was
cross
cross
conference
conference.
week.
Yeah. So Seek Guidance
I
is
always
in
get
the red.
confused on cross conference
Yeah,
weeks. Okay,
Seek Guidance
so
is red
we can talk a
conference.
little bit more about Seek Guidance when we get
Get
to
the red.
Legacy Red
Mhm.
and their place
Yes.
in Legacy Red right now. But for what it's worth, they are kind of in the middle of the pack. So
Yeah.
almost getting there against the current, I think, second place team points wise in all of Legacy, which is pretty impressive to come that close, especially
Yeah,
with
for
the DQ.
sure. Mhm.
All right, and then our next highlighted match that we're going to talk about for Legacy Gold. Let's get that one up on the screen. And Lotus Knight, can you talk to me about Defias Brotherhood getting that victory over Illidan's Death Knights?
Sure. Defias Brotherhood has done it again. The team is 3-0 with Wild Nine losing. The star of last week's Player of the Week did not win, and their number 5, the Realure. This one was a hard one.
I mean,
The
I think
Realure.
it's an amalgamation, right, of the real allure, but I don't know exactly how you're supposed to say it. The
It
real
really
allure?
sounds. It sounds like that thing from 30 Rock, the movie that Jenna does, the Roger, that it's impossible to say. I don't know who's watched that. It's a very
Nice.
dated reference, but it's so
Nice.
good.
I'm here for dated
Um,
references.
but Classy Thug, Nab Canuck, and Comp winning over JR, Jespin, and Bitbeaker to give Defias the win here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice. Interesting that it's all shaman bands across the board for Defias. But we don't need to make any changes to shaman, right?
No,
Just
Shaman
let's just
doesn't need
make Warlock
changes. It's
worse.
Warlock. It's
Very
it's
valid.
Warlock.
This is totally
They're
fine.
both nuts.
Shaman won't
Oh, yeah.
become a problem.
Shaman will get
No,
Shaman will get a nerf eventually.
it's not like Warlock was nerfed enough anyway.
Yeah, it
Let's hit
really.
it some more, actually.
Well, if you ask certain players, it was not nerfed enough. But
Well, I mean, especially in Wild. I'm
yeah,
sure,
but we're not talking Wild. That's for Thursday's show.
true.
Yeah.
All right, and there we have it. Again, as we mentioned, kind of a clear pecking order for Gold Conference right
Yeah.
now, and the top teams holding serve. We've got Wisps and Defias just
Mhm.
not losing
Yeah.
and picking up, solid points along the way, 19 points and 17 points per week, respectively. And what's extra scary about Golden Wisps, they have a 16.3 average strength of schedule. So their strength of schedule is up there with, the
Yeah.
absolute top of everyone, and they're
they've
still putting up these kind of point totals.
yeah, Golden Wisps have played the top 2 teams in their conference already. So everything else is, the lower end teams. Like they haven't played Me Dream Team, Dad Legend, Flame Pimps, Cult, and Terra Knight. So
Yep.
they have a lot going for them.
Absolutely. Next, we're going to move over into the Red Conference, and let's take a look because Legacy has a top team. This team looks familiar.
Ah, yes, it does.
This team looks very, very familiar to me. I think they pretty much brought back their whole roster except for one albatross that was weighing them down, and they kicked that Ron Mexico to the curb. and
and then they kicked all of
wound
our
up
butt.
with a very strong team that has the most points in all of Legacy and 3-0. What do you know?
What do
It
you
was a
know?
real easy fix. And here they are at 20 points per week, just dominating right
Mm-hmm.
now. And in our number 2 spot, we have Bluefish
Bluefish.
showing up with 52 and also undefeated. You
Yeah.
know, very, very close to being defeated, but not defeated yet. Ties are not losses, and Bluefish looking very strong to start the season. F2L White, Team Justin, and Seek Guidance all pretty much in striking distance, with our other 3 teams down at the bottom fighting to gain some relevance as we move closer to the playoff picture. But let's
Yeah.
start off with Bluefish versus Serenite Pain Gang, and just kind of a massacre.
Mm-hmm.
Fish, talk to me about this one here. Just
Yeah.
everything went right for Bluefish.
Everything went right for Bluefish. In the 1 seat, there's a full sweep, 20 points. That's a huge 23-point week. RoboCatch with a 3-1 over Pescatarian. I have to pull this up on my actual screen. Hickett 3-1 over Walkerman. A2 Battleship with a close 3-2 win over Darkside. So that's half the points came from that one match for Serenite Pain Gang. It looks like, unfortunately, another DQ. And this went in the favor of Dead Snoop 123 over Duocat. And then in the 5, Judo Chop getting his first win in Legacy this season over Bussanut. Yeah, 3-1. So just an absolute masterpiece in how to win a week from Bluefish.
Yeah. What more can you say about it? But just doing everything that you want to see your team do.
And please do your absolute best to find a sub or show up to the match. Unfortunately, seeing DQs is not fun. And Bluefish tied with the Cooler, I'm pretty sure, to Geranium Battle in chat.
Checks out if you look at those ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Geranium, sometimes reading comprehension is hard. I get it. Let's move on to our next team that we're going to talk about here. Our next match. This was super close.
Oh yeah.
15-14 victory for Team Justin over All Pros Missing. Steffi, I think you might even recognize a decent amount of names on All Pros. Well, I know you've been around like THL for a little while. I don't know if you were playing when Cheesy was playing.
I wasn't playing when Cheesy was playing,
Ah,
but I
okay.
do recognize a lot of the other players, or of the other players on All Pros Missing.
Nice.
Man,
Well,
you
take me
weren't
through this one.
kidding with this being close. 15-14. So congratulations to both teams already. And look at their points just in general, 46-49. That's still anybody's. Like, they're going to be dancing back and forth. Oh, they're in different conferences. Never mind.
Yes.
This is the cross one again. All right, so
Yep.
Team Justin.
Gets me too every time.
Yeah. There's a
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good thing. That means there's so many players. So Team Justin, starting with always just in time, 3-2 against AV. That's a heck of a win, honestly. Very strong players going back and forth right there. You got Pokemon 661 taking a loss 1-3 against Cheesy. Gamer Dude 3-2 with Bone Masher. Wild Rose, another 3-2 with Cherub, and then Skirt Reynolds.
Yeah.
Taking a loss 2-3 to Chewbacca. I can't stress enough, and again, I know all of us here can really attest to this. It's like, it's okay, if you lose, but really those 2-3 or like the 3-2, getting those 2 points are crucial for your team, which is why even though a few of these players did lose, it was still so close. Every single point counts. So both of these teams looks like they showed up and showed out this time. And I mean, again, it probably just came out to like small technical things on queuing and things like that. But congrats to both sides. I mean, it was very close. And, we know how I feel about those close games. So.
Of course. And once again, I have to point out the team that banned a whole lot of shaman wound up getting the victory. Is there some kind of correlation here?
I mean,
ban shaman good.
Yeah. I mean, there's 2 classes you ban in these series generally. and they're the only bans besides shoe banning
Yeah,
Hunter.
what are you doing, Chewbacca? I guess we can't really criticize Chewbacca too much. He is sitting there at a 3-0. He did not want to face a Hunter, and it paid off for him. He got 3-2.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
And
I'm super close one.
that does it for our Red Conference review. Again, teams at the top really looking strong here. Chaos Theory, of course, just absolutely dominating in Legacy overall across all conferences. And we've got a lot of good teams in striking distance. And season's not over, even if you're on standard THL Degenerates, who did make it all the way to the championship last season and to Stubbs. Early struggles notwithstanding, there's still plenty of time to make that up. As we move on to our final conference of Legacy, so many teams in Legacy. We've got Silver again this season, and we're
Yeah.
going to talk about All Pros missing again because they're up there at the top. But first, we're going to start with Wallet Warriors. 56 points,
Ooh.
top of the conference, and a demolition of Flame Pimps, who, by the way, were looking really strong just as early as last week.
Yeah.
This team was, I think, a highlighted team in our 2 weeks ago when
They
we did
probably would have
Hearthcenter.
been, yeah.
They were on fire, but Wallet Warriors doused that fire pretty quickly. Lotus Knight, talk to me about this 20-6 match here.
Sure. Wallet Warriors just went full out. Jewish Owl just destroyed Taco Cat. Dragon Ninja destroyed Sheepies. Tavin Am beat Goose. Sam sees Ghosts, saw Ghosts, and still defeated Bullion 3-1. And Mojo Powell went from casting to deal a 3-1 win against Diddle. Just a really strong showing from Wallet Warriors against the Flame Pimps, and I guess you can get $1 out of them this time.
Oh,
Oh.
all right.
I mean, great reference.
As always, Lotus
Yeah.
on point here.
Yeah.
I like that you mentioned that Dragon Ninja destroyed Cyan Sheepies in the
Yeah.
only 5-game series. Is your adjective to describe
In
that?
the one in the
Destroyed.
and you can go watch
Cyan Sheepies, by the way, I'm pretty surprised that they've started off 0-3,
same.
and I very much expect this to turn around because they are an incredibly strong player in the Pro Series as well.
Mhm.
And I felt kind of broken as a 410 PR player, but sometimes things don't pan out early, and as we mentioned, there's still time to turn it around. We have a lot more kind of tied up teams or teams closer in striking distance of Silver than in any other conference, it seems.
Yeah, I mean, any team, like every team is above 10. This is the only conference where everybody is over 10 points per week. You'll love to see it. Very competitive. Every week
Absolutely.
is every week going to be a fight.
Can we acknowledge that Nice Jewish Owl is 100 PR less than Taco Cat?
Yeah.
And still took that 3-1. Like, is there anything that they can't do?
Oh yeah,
I'm just asking. I need life skills, and
he beat me up pretty good in Legacy last week too.
Yeah.
I faced off against him, and he took a 3-1 against me too. He's doing very well. Wait, maybe it was a 3-2.
It was
one or the other.
It was
you won anyway.
It was a 3-2.
That's just being crushed.
Ron, you haven't had anything. You've had
Destroyed.
had one non-3-2, and it wasn't to Owl.
That's right.
Yeah.
But let's talk about our next highlighted match where it is not a destruction. You may be sensing a pattern where we're looking at, a blowout win and then a close win. So, Dr. Fish, I know you have a little bit of allegiance to F2L or some versions thereof.
Yes.
So not F2L White specifically, but take me through this Hot Zilfs versus F2L White matchup. Pretty close.
Sure. So Hot Zilfs versus F2L White, like you said, very close. I was told that Jim Filos was down 2-0 and almost had a tie for the week. With Jammies
Oh, for this, yeah, that's right. Zilf's just barely missed 3 ties to open the
yes.
season.
Yeah, so if Totino's had swept it, wait, maybe if Totino's had swept, it would have been a tie.
Amazing.
Yeah. So just run down the matches. Jammies 3-2 over Vino Spumoni. Donde 3-2 over Rebob. Big Ted getting swept by Myanodon. But Anfall coming right back, sweeping Slod, and then Jim Falos did not win his match, but he secured his team the week with 2 points over Totino's Pizza. So 3-2 for Totino's.
Yeah, so I mean, whatever talk you want to say about Hot Zilfs being washed after winning the title,
Nope.
they haven't lost yet.
Mm-mm.
You know, we almost were at a point where they hadn't won yet, but they did in fact clutch out those last couple of points to get the dub. So we're looking at, our top 4 teams are all pretty strong here. Wallet Warriors All Pros missing, which we highlighted in the previous conference, not Justin and Hot Zilfs performing very well. And the rest of the teams kind of further out of range, still not too far back. So Silver definitely shaping up to be one of the tighter playoff races, which will be exciting to keep an eye on.
Oh, yeah.
And that
sure.
does it for our recap of Legacy, unless we have any final words on Legacy before we dive into our 4th and final series to recap in Pro.
No.
Nope.
We're good to go.
Hey, I appreciate the not total silence on any final words this time. That's awesome.
Yeah, I got you.
Communication is key.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on to Pro, and we're going to start off with the Black Conference.
Oh, we're gonna skip meta this week?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
All
I
good.
think I've been skipping meta for a while. I
Oh.
forgot to
Yeah.
mention that.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought that was gonna be this still
Meta
pro
reports?
meta.
We don't need no meta reports. I
No.
don't see Marty
There's
B anywhere.
okay.
I don't got no
But
Marty B
let's-
stats corner. Get him out of here.
But before, what can you guess which class was brought the most this week?
Warlock.
That's a tough one, but
There's
yeah,
2 choices.
gonna have to say Warlock. Is it actually Shaman?
Shaman
Is this the
Shaman
bait
by
switch?
2 brings.
Ooh,
70 Shaman brings, 68 Warlock brings.
Fancy.
Yes.
Oh, the conference standings are out of date. The logos are correct.
Oh, yeah, I got that. Let me just quickly
I think the logos are
merge
correct.
Yes, logos are correct. I did not change things, so we got it. We can keep going.
Wait,
Mhm.
There we go.
our logo's correct? That's not the Bread Ape logo.
No, but Sushi Rats has the second most points per week.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Points per week.
Yeah, we have a different rule.
Yeah, it's gonna be weird in pink too because there's bye weeks in
Yeah, I know.
in this.
I
Yeah.
forgot. Week off and I get rusty. But
Mhm.
what do you know? We are starting off with the Black Conference, and who is that
Whew.
in the top left?
Who
What
is
is that
lovely
logo there?
human being right there?
Who is the captain of that team? Oh my goodness!
Oh my gosh.
Rigged. Totally rigged.
Yeah.
But yeah, here we are, Brushy Tuna at the very top of Black Conference. I can scarcely believe it myself, but the team is currently sitting at 61 points with a 3-0 record, 20 points per week. I'm very proud of my teammates. Just leading from the bottom, as it were, in my case, down here at the 5 seed, but
Farming the
they're all
5
doing
seed.
amazing, and I'm so proud of them.
Mhm.
And at the number 2 spot, we've got defending champions with a slightly altered name, Bread Ape, and 50 points. And Faction No Pros here are both just a little bit out of that top spot.
Yeah.
The rest of our teams kind of already looking at a bit of an uphill climb, but as we mentioned, very early in the season, no need to overreact unless you're Hearthcenter hosts.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the first match here. And Steffi, I got to throw it to you for this one. Tell me about Brushy Tuna versus Make Love Not Warcraft. I was
I
really
got there.
tripping up on that one.
So it looks like a lot of people got destroyed. There was no love that was made
Mhm.
this week.
Oh,
Yeah, you like that? You
Mhm.
like that? I knew you would. All right, so
Not
coming
wordplay's
in
not just for
hot.
Lotus Knight. Let's go.
Let's do it, Steffi.
Coming in hot to Charmel. Taking a 3-1 against, oh god, my eyes, I'm old lady. Sergeant Teabag? Okay.
Yes, yes, Sergeant
Okay.
Teabag. Yeah.
Oh wait, let me just make my screen bigger. That's better. All right. Oh, the one and only Lotus Knight. Also taking a 3-1 against Bat, oh gosh.
Bat Missile.
Bat, yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
And then we got Donde coming in hot. Donde's coming in hot.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Oh
Donde's kind of
gosh.
on fire. He's way up there
Yeah.
in crossover
He
player right
created
now.
the fire
He's
Great.
again.
he should be number 1.
Great. Also coming in with the 3-1, sitting pretty against Ronak.
Mhm.
I'm gonna say multiple versions of names now, so chat can't yell at me. Because if I say one wrong, maybe one's right. And then we got
Solid.
Based Inc. 3-1 against Draco Cat. That is definitely a big victory, in my opinion. And then Mexico doing the ultimate crushing. He was like, sweep, sweep against the flawless slays. So, I mean, that's a lot of damage. That's
Mhm.
trauma. You made them nervous. They don't want to play you
Man.
again. You guys
Yeah,
really
things
showed up and showed
things
out.
just like really panned out extremely well for us. I think this team that we
Yeah.
played is a very strong team,
Mhm.
and we
Mhm.
just have really good players that came through really well.
Looks like it was your
For
Sometimes,
week.
sure.
yeah, some things every time everything just kind of falls in place, and we had to do it for the tuna. So this week it
Mhm.
paid off.
Nicely done.
Also, don't ban Warlock, it seems.
Yeah, I was gonna say none of you banned Warlock.
Plot
2 of you
twist.
banned Shaman. The rest of you banned something else, and they all banned Warlock.
Yeah, I just wanted to let D6 hurt itself.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean D6 hurting itself is
It
good.
worked.
Yeah.
But now D6 is kind of gone, so
Ugh.
maybe we're
We have
back
to
on
ban
banning
it.
Warlock.
We're
We'll
back to
see.
banning Warlock.
Yeah.
But that is our first highlighted match, and let's jump into our next one, which is Sushi Rats versus Hype Horizon. And this I was really impressed by. So Sushi Rats just showing up here, and I mean that's why they have the number 2 spot right now. They are undefeated. They had a bye
Mhm.
week, but they shrugged that off for point totals because points per week they are killing it, and they took it to one of the most marquee teams in all of Pro Series. Pretty brutal here,
Mhm.
16-7. So Lotus, talk to me about this one.
Sure. This was High Horizon. It's been one of the big names of pro for quite a while now, and it's been a while since I've seen them have a loss like this. Now, granted, one of their players did DQ, but Cool Kid
Mm.
lost 3-0. Liquidox, Hall of Famer, is 0-2 at the start of the season. What is
Mhm.
going on? And Gamer RPG also lost to Griff. Just Sprinkle, Money Pockets, our player of the week, Dead Snoop, Griff just putting in the work.
Mhm.
McBannerface tried to hold it for Hype Horizon, but it wasn't hype enough.
Oh,
Oh.
there it is.
Mhm.
But yeah, congrats to Sushi Rats. Really impressive play here. And I mean, not to take anything away from Sprinkle, that is a very impressive victory over Liquidox. But
Mhm.
maybe I can speak to this. It might be the Hall of Fame curse. I don't know.
Oh.
I'm
Maybe.
familiar with this. I
Mhm.
got into the Legacy Hall of Fame, and then I just started losing all of my Legacy matches. So good luck, Ox. You're in the Pro Hall of Fame now. I guess
Ugh.
rest on your laurels. Hey, you made it. It's fine. And now just
Darn.
lose all the rest.
And we'll and it's even more strong because Itachi also hasn't won yet in Legacy since going in last
Oh
season.
no.
Ugh.
All of the
All of
curses
my
are
team
out and about.
and both
You
of
picked a bad season to line up with us, Fish.
I picked a bad no, I
Unfortunate.
never a bad season to play with you two. Never a bad season. Having
All
Itachi and you
right.
is great.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
Aw.
here we have it though. That is our recap for
Mhm.
Black. As we're looking at, a probably going to be a pretty tight race, at least between the top 6 or 7 teams here. And then Swagoi is pretty far out of the picture right now,
Yeah.
but hopefully for them they can turn things around. For the Clowns, is low in point total, but not that low in points per week, and a very, very strong roster. So this is going to be an interesting race for sure.
Yeah.
As we move on to the pink conference, let's get our final two logos up on the screen. Who are our leaders?
Our leaders are the 5 boxing wizards, Jump Quickly, and F2L.
All right. And what a name. Love the logo.
Hmm.
5 boxing wizards jump quickly with a Harry Potter text too.
Hmm.
Nicely done. And then F2L, I mean, kind of boring, guys. Kind of. I just gotta say it. Kind of boring.
Do better.
You know, let's be better.
Yeah.
Um, but here we have, our top teams, of course, 5 boxing wizards, F2L doing extremely well right now in points per week. Sheepies just right behind them. They were also, I think, pretty much holding the top spot in pink for quite a while at the end of last season. And
Yeah.
we just mentioned Cyan Sheepies starting Rocky in
Mhm.
Legacy,
Hmm.
not so in Pro, because that's a 3-0 that we're looking at. So that is going to be our first highlighted match as well. It is the battle of the previous, I guess, long tenured top team in pink versus the most recent long running top team in pink. And this time, Popeyes kind of reclaimed their crown. Fish, take me through the series.
Yeah. So Popeyes versus Sheepies started out not very close and turned out to be very close. Um, so we have, I know the order kind of goes, I don't know if it goes exactly completely up from the bottom, but I know Goose played first with a 3-2 win. Then Zabe got a 3-1 over Mikas. Mick took a 3-1 over Swanky Pants on Thursday. And then we have Sheepies getting a 3-1 over Myanodon, and Why the Hunter getting a 3-1 over GM Lambie Series.
Yeah, crazy to see another GM in pro, and also starting off at a 1-2 just tells you, as we probably sound like a broken record by this point, but pro is ridiculously stacked.
Yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
But solid performances from both teams. Popeyes getting, I think, a much needed win, their first win of the season here, and kind of vaulting them up that point
Surprising.
total. And Sheepy's, of course, still, 12 points and a loss, looking strong. We've got
Yeah.
one final match to recap for you guys tonight, and it is going to be F2L versus Poem Locked and Loaded. So, Lotus Knight, talk to me about this one here. Uh, I can't even believe it. Our friend of the show, our very own Marty B, starting off undefeated. That's got to be rigged. What's going on here?
This is a rigged one. Marty B won against Fulahu. Um, there was a Hunter ban. Who bans Hunter? This was rigged. Ribab lost to Voidham. That was a void match, 2-3 for Voidham. Not rigged, but really rigged. Sunday beat
Makaya
Makia
time.
time.
Makaya
Makia
time.
Makaya time.
Yeah.
I
Three to
saved
one.
this for you on purpose.
Oh,
I'm
I
sure he
know.
did.
You're welcome.
Hockey winning for F2L,
Yeah.
but point block wasn't enough to close the win. QSNS lost, and F2L still survived a 15-point week and starting 2-0. That's a hot start.
Yeah.
Are they forgetting to lose again?
Must be. They are looking strong at this point in the season. Obviously, got their logo up there. Haven't lost a game just yet. And Poem locked, 12 points and a loss, as we just mentioned for Sheepies. It's a pretty strong performance. You got to get those points, as much as you possibly can, and that mitigates about as much as you can from a loss. I think maybe 13 or 14 is like the maximum you can get a losing effort. So they're
Yeah.
just off that mark there and keeping themselves in contention still, even though they have not picked up their first victory of the season yet.
Yeah.
Uh, any final words to say on Pro, Pink Conference in general, or the Pro Conference as a whole before we wrap up our show?
F2L has come out and surprised me this season. I mean, just with how stacked a lot of these rosters are, to see them 2-0 is quite good. Sunday coming in to his first pro season at 1-1 is really good.
Yeah, absolutely. I also got to say, I'm pretty interested because I don't know a whole lot about Undivided. But I'm excited to keep an eye on this team. They're starting off to a pretty strong
Oh yeah.
opener to the season, and there,
Mm,
as we mentioned, there's so many well-known names that are so good in THL Pro, but
Mhm.
this team looking strong, and I want to see how well they can compete as the season goes on.
Yeah.
All right, but with that, let's bring it on back to our caster screen as we wrap things up for the night. We've got final words on the night. Let's just start in order as we usually do. So, Dr. Fish, thank you so much for stepping up and opping for us tonight. Big help. And take it away. Final words. Anything you want to say?
Well, I'm happy to do this. I don't know, I just love opping the streams and helping everybody get the shows as best as I can. It's always great to come on Hearthcenter and hang out with Ron and Lotus, and especially to be on with Steffi this week. Um, and then yeah, we have Tavern Talk tomorrow with a very special guest. I won't reveal it until the content announcement tomorrow. But
Ooh,
yeah,
teasers.
really special
Nice.
guest coming on.
spoiler.
Might be a champion of THL. We will say that.
Oh, awesome.
All right.
Excited to hear it.
Mhm.
Next, I want to hear about match shows. I got a hankering to hear about some match shows that are coming up. So, Dr. Lotus Knight, final words, take it away.
I've actually not looked for matches this week. I've been super busy. I will be doing it tomorrow. There's
Yeah.
one. I do have a diamond match, but there will be matches this week. Yes,
I
as soon as I start to get them. Now, if y'all want to be nice and bring me the matches, I will take it as a moment of gratitude for just being great and making me not have to work to chase matches. Otherwise, I'll just chase matches tomorrow, and I will get some. They
yeah.
are very.
I
Yeah.
like it.
I have a
All right, THL,
Neji match on
you heard it.
Thursday.
Be nice to Lotus. Come on, let's all be nice to
That's
Lotus. He
the
deserves it.
takeaway.
All right, and then finally, final words on the night for our special guest and BG's expert, Steffi. Take it away.
Thanks for having me. It's always fun to ramble on about BGs when I have the opportunity to. And it's just like it's fun to reflect and hang out with you guys. That's like the real fun is the banter with all of us. So thank you for having me here. It's always appreciated.
Oh, absolutely. Always a pleasure to have you on. And for myself and the rest of our crew, thank you all again for joining us. Hope you had fun. Sorry that we missed the previous week, but we're planning on being back on our regular schedule as usual next Tuesday. Stay tuned, of course, to this channel for everything THL coming up throughout the rest of the week. We, of course, as Fish mentioned, have Tavern Talk on Wednesday. We've got match shows rolling through the rest of the week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We also have our Maniac Mondays on, every other Monday, and then Around the Saloon on the other Mondays, which takes you full circle right back to Hearthcenter. We
Mm,
appreciate you stopping by and hope you all have a great night.
Good
Bye,
night.
everybody.
Bye
Bye.
everybody.